Okay, Mr. Northcroft's come full recline. I can't fault you, mate. That's exactly what I would do.
Now, you know.
Yeah, the worst thing is I did buy that one for me many moons ago, and I don't think it looks. It's not the vibe I'm personally going for in the middle league. But yeah, we're going to move on to the fact that we've discussed them pretty much every week since the social club started. But Jose Mourinho,
Hello.
He's still got a job.
He has.
I mean, look, do you agree? Should he still be in a job?
It's tough. I think the stadium ban's done him a favour. I think had he been in the ground when they lost, Abramovich might have thought, right, you can go. But because he's probably thought, well, he couldn't really have done much about the game itself. Maybe not being in the ground, maybe that banner's done him a little bit of a favour because, as I say, there's no pictures of him on the sidelines. There's no post-match interview where he's making a show of himself. There's no dodgy comments to the ref or nothing about that. Which I think, and I speak to Chelsea fans a bit. They're embarrassed by it. A lot of them. They love him and they want him to stay, but they're embarrassed by the. We like when I'm a Liverpool fan. We played them off the park, and yet he's moaning about the ref.
Yeah.
And the fans are thinking, just go at your players. Your players were terrible in that game, and I've got nothing to say and all that crap. So I think not being in the ground, because anyone can go to Stoke and lose.
Yeah.
Any team can go to Stoke. It's a difficult place.
Twice.
We've done it.
Yeah.
End of last season for Liverpool, for example. So people go to Stoke and people lose games at Stoke. They just do. But on the back of what's gone on, you wouldn't have been surprised if had he been in there, he'd have been on his way. I think.
Well, what's interesting, because we were discussing again from a Liverpool perspective, is that Liverpool chose to, to basically give Brendan Rodgers the boot just before the last international break. So, Klopp came in, he had 2 weeks to get his feet under the table and get himself. This felt like this was a reasonable opportunity for Chelsea to call Town Mourinho, which I guess says, they're just going to stick with him. I don't know.
Well, I guess there's a couple of things, because there's a reason that we all know that they might have for waiting, which is Simeone, Guardiola. So it doesn't make any sense to get rid of him right now, because you're not improving anything by doing that. Chelsea aren't going to get relegated, so there's not a kind of time pressure.
You heard it here first. There you go. Chelsea not getting relegated.
Yeah. And I guess the other thing, I do think there's an element of Abramovich just wanting to show that he's mellowed, he's different. He's a fair and just overlord or whatever it is. So I think there's an element of that.
Yeah.
And from a newspaper point of view, what was odd about it, but maybe it shows the psychology, that I think we all went there expecting that if Chelsea get beaten again, this is going to be another massive weekend, because it was a massive story when, the Liverpool game, one journalist ended up outside Abramovich's house in case there was a meeting happening, and a couple of games before the Southampton defeat, I was one of two or three hanging about outside Stamford Bridge till 11 o'clock, because I had that feeling it could go tonight. Yeah. On Saturday, everyone just sort of went, well, story's the same story. It just felt like maybe defeat fatigue is settled in, and it's not a shock to anyone anymore. So maybe that's another reason why it hasn't changed anything. Chelsea were, in a mess before the game, still in a mess. He wasn't there, as you say, so he didn't do anything else ridiculous. Yeah. So in a way, it hasn't moved on. And he is such a good manager that there must just be this thing as well with Abramovich thinking, if I do get rid of him, he could just return with another club to Chelsea and embarrass me for doing this.
Is there a case for it's just going to cost him too much money to
and there's money, but I always think with
got a bit wrong with him.
He's got a bit. I know he's got a few bob.
He's all right.
Spare, but it's still going to be a lot of money. Go on, Pep. What do you reckon? Because let's face it, standard football logic and what we've seen from Chelsea over the years suggests that he shouldn't be in that job anymore by the results they've had.
Well, as Jonathan just said, there's no outstanding candidates. David Moyes, maybe. Brendan Rodgers, there you go. But there are none, I suppose that's... And listen, they're still in the Champions League. They've still got the Champions League. And actually, who knows, maybe not being the pressures of the Premier League every single week might mean that the Champions League comes more in focus. And he probably wants to win the Champions League with Chelsea more than he wants to win everything else. That's the one thing he hasn't done. And you're right, there was no circus this week. There won't be no circus next week. It'll die down a little, and maybe they'll think, well, let's hope the story goes somewhere else. It won't.
No.
But let's hope the story goes somewhere else. And it's also that they sacked them once, they fell out, they've got back together, it's a big love story, and then they'd be doing it all again and
They're
again.
staying together for the kids this time.
Yeah, it's like so there's also that. It's almost like they've made peace and it'd be like, this time actually, let's give it a little bit of time to see if it works out.
Do you think Abramovich gives a toss about stuff like that though?
I'm not sure if he gives a toss about anything. Have you seen his face? He doesn't look like, I'm still wondering how he found all this money.
Yeah.
Maybe just
found it.
walking down a field and just found a big hole full of oil,
Maybe.
gas, and then
Like the Beverly Hillbillies.
then worked out how to rip the whole country off using it.
There you go, there's a 50s television reference that fell flat.
Jim Bob.
The only thing I would say about the Candidates thing is he's been known to do this interim manager thing. He's done it twice, hasn't he? Before? So even if he wanted Guardiola or Simeone in the summer, he brought Rafa in on the interim.
Yeah.
He done Di Matteo come in as an interim manager, won them the... Well, he was interim, wasn't he? And Gus Hiddink was an interim when he won the FA Cup. So it's not like he's willing to wait, because he isn't. He's happy.
Who's the next hot interim manager?
I know, that could become a specialist position.
That could be, absolutely.
I mean, Ancelotti maybe might fancy for 6 months or
You
something.
get a temping agency for interim manager.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Roman. Yeah, we've got us on speed dial. It's a lot easier. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Frank Lampard's got 2 months off.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do the Ryan gigs.
He's coming on loan from the MLS to be a Chelsea manager. That's never been done before. That is breaking barriers.
What do you reckon? Ruud Hullit's just, kicking around, punditing these days, isn't he? Got a bit of sexy football going on.
Whoever does it though has to basically just let John Terry pick the team. That is the sort of that is the number one rule. Is they come in, look good, be the face, wear a nice suit. John picks the team.
Kurt Zuma picks the team. List them again. Oh, right. Oh, on the bench again. Oh, look who's starting. Yeah. Oh, would you believe it? But it would be interesting to know, because I think that's a big issue, and I think that's why, Liverpool were quite shrewd to do it when they did again, take Klopp off the table, because might have been a different conversation if both. Because look at it now. There's a potential that both teams could have been sacking the managers at this point, and then Klopp's got that decision to make, and you don't know which way that would have gone. To be fair, it could have easily gone to Chelsea, I guess. But yeah, looking around now, because that was what Liverpool we were doing. We were going, who's the list of candidates? Alan Kirbysley, 12-1 again, as he is for every English job forever and ever.
I've wondered for a while who was below Klopp. I mean, it probably would be Alan Kirbysley. I think Liverpool's plan was Klopp.
It was literally, it was Ancelotti in the ether, wasn't it? But past that, it was probably like Sam Allardyce was probably in about 15.
Steve Gerrard was like 4 favourites.
Steve Gerrard is in there.
Steve Evans, Richard Murray.
All the.
He's starting to realise now.
Ronnie Moore could be in there.
He's starting to realise now why QPR jumped in to get Warnock.
Yeah.
It's understandable now, isn't it? They want to get in there and get the
Chelsea
man.
will be after him next season. Championship specialist.
So
yeah.
John's just told us to stay in upper sound. 16th.
There you go. Leslie, thoughts on it? Should Chelsea just get rid of Mourinho? Are you surprised that he's still in the job? Is it a sensible move? Is it a good move for the long term? All those thoughts. Be
careful what you say as well if you want to keep your job. Be careful what you say.
Yeah, Chelsea fans in particular. Leslie, thoughts in the comments below. Check out the rest of the show. Subscribe as well right now. Click the annotation in the corner screen. Subscribe to the Ball Street YouTube channel.